dating show, there was an interesting topic that was going around. It was speaking about hip hop, and if hip hop, do you think that hip hop is more helpful or detrimental to the black community?
Mm-hmm.
That's a serious question.
Yeah.
It's detrimental.
You think it's more detrimental than helpful?
Yes.
Okay. Why would you say it's more detrimental than helpful?
Hip hop.
Yeah.
When you have derogatory lyrics in 90% of your songs, you're brainwashing the children to think a certain way, act a certain way, just through repetition. They're reciting the lyrics. They're programming their subconscious. There's a lot of poverty mindset embedded in it as well. So it's not even just how we treat each other in our interpersonal relationships. It's how we interact with finances. It's all negative in 90% of it. You know, obviously you have those outliers, you know, but yeah, I mean,
You don't think that, I guess, you know, being in hip hop, aside from that particular part, that it enables people to change their community, to change their upbringing in a positive way, if you know they can't get a job but they're investing in music and they're rapping and they become millionaires, and then from those millionaires that's in a hip hop community, they're able to start businesses, and then they can pour that knowledge down to, you know, their community and help people within their community. You don't see that as being a benefit? You think that the lyrics are more harmful than, you know, the people who actually make it, helping their community and creating a life that they never would have had outside of hip hop?
For every 100 or 200 rappers that make it, how many of them are doing that? It's not enough. And the impact, look at Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, even though a lot of people probably won't consider him hip hop, I don't know what.
He's hip hop. Yeah, he's definitely hip hop.
But when you look at Nick Cannon, he has done a tremendous amount for the community. It's not even putting a dent. It's not even. It's so small. Most people don't know. Most people have absolutely no idea the opportunities that Nick Cannon creates for our people. It's just too small. No.
Do you think it's more detrimental, or you think it's helpful to the black community?
You gonna act like Ryan on the first time he came on Pop the Balloon, when he had all them women he had to pop, he's like, oh, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's capped like a bug.
Okay.
You know the answer.
Well, I'm torn because I like hip hop.
Okay.
But it's more detrimental. It does more harm than good, and there's a reason that we weren't allowed to listen to it when we were younger, growing up. Our family.
Okay.
I'm not talking about you, because you know, growing. Yeah, me, Chris, my brothers and sisters. Is that better?
I'm just saying.
Okay. I think that music is very powerful, and when we understand vibrations, we understand energy. And I'm trying not to give the same answer as Chris. I'm just giving a different piece of that answer because I think we believe the same things. Mm-hmm. And the 808s, right? Biaki talked about this recently. Is a low vibrational sound. It vibrates very low. Not low as in like, you know, the tone, but it's a low frequency vibration. It brings the frequency of the human beings down into a more of a root state, which is more carnal, right? So that is like our sex state. We're just thinking about sex, and we're thinking about money and drugs. Like it brings us down into a place where we're not helpful to others around us. We just want to consume instead of actually creating, which is more of our higher state. And 808s, particularly around our time growing up when hip hop was really booming, was the most popular. It was extremely popular during that time. And
do people still get beats in their trunk?
Yeah.
Like at the same level?
I don't see why not. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the music is.
I don't hear it. I don't hear beats anywhere. It could just be where we live. But
Nigga, you be in the crib.
Wait, you mean you mean like just driving beats? Oh, you're talking about like bass, like
Yeah.
yes.
Nigga, if I hear bass in my neighborhood, hey, we moving, cuz.
I think Chris, it's not.
I ain't trying to be around none of these bass blaring niggas. Nah, ain't happening.
I don't think that it is the same as it used to be. Right, as soon as you get a car, you're trying to put 215s in the trunk. It's not the same way. But people want music. They want bass. So like for me, I was gonna put a 10 in the car, and I decided I'm not gonna do that. I'll just wait till I get another one.
That's that Cincinnati in you, man.
no, a 10 would have been. A 10 would have been
good, yeah. But it already has good bass. It already has, you know what I'm saying? It has both systems, so it already has good bass.
6x9.
Tim walked up. He was like, "Hey, what kind of system you got there?" Because he heard the bass, but it already has a good system, so it wasn't like necessary. But I mean, 110. I think 212s. I started to get real niggerish. You know what I'm saying?
212s. That's you.
212s. You really now you got to pad the trunk. You got to dynamite the trunk. You know. But anyway, energetically on a frequency level, I think that hip hop unintentionally. I'll say I don't think it was originally intended to be this way.
No.
But after the hip hop industry was found to be have such a hold on the community, when those people came in and then started playing with all the hip hop, and they started buying everybody and giving them deals, and then now that money started flowing upwards, that's when it got bad, and that's when everything changed to shoot 'em up, kill 'em up, guns, death, right? Oh, you got to beep some of that out. Sorry. Oh.
No.
Oh, you gave me that look. I was like, am I talking crazy?
No. I'm just looking.
But I think that that's when it went bad, and now of course we just see that, you know, you just look at Sexy Red. My daughter, she was like, "Dad, let me get the aux cord," right? And then but it was Bluetooth now. They were like iPhones. I Bluetoothed them to the car. First thing she put on was Sexy Red.
Oh no!
Crazy.
I said, "Emma," she said, "What?"
That's
She
crazy.
said, "You don't like Sexy Red?" I said, "No."
Oh no, we don't even listen to Sexy
She's
Red.
in the back like bow, bam, 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 bam. I'm like,
Sexy Red.
This girl went from Taylor Swift, and she was like, "I don't like Taylor Swift no more." I said, "What you listen to?" She's
Bro,
like,
we old,
Sexy
man.
Red.
We some old people now.
No,
Bro.
you're old, Mel.
No, you old.
You literally are sitting on the porch with a shotgun. Let me hear some bass come around that corner.
Bass come around my neighborhood. I give you some real bass.
That is true.
Hey, real talk. Like when I was like, I heard Future from like another resident around here. I was just like, oh nigga, it is
time to
time.
go.
Have y'all seen the dude that looks like he just got out? He be walking back and forth. He's got a dog, and he just walks. And I think he be smoking.
No,
He kind of looks like Mel, but he's like a little bit big.
So he must. Well, he's
I'm
like,
saying
he's
like
60.
his height and
He's like
his
60.
Why it gotta be me? How come just can't be a nigga that's just outside?
Okay,
Maybe he looks like you.
He
He don't look like me.
So y'all haven't seen him. Then.
I ain't seen a nigga, but he don't look like me.
He just be minding his own business. But I noticed him like he's new in the neighborhood.
I haven't seen that girl.
I haven't seen it either.
Which one, the baddie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like since
yeah,
like they
a
moved
couple doors
in.
down.
Like I haven't seen her.
I know they there, but I haven't seen her. She don't be out walking
come
around.
outside.
I've been looking.
Steve would know the best.
I do. I mean, my window's right there, but I ain't seen nothing.
No, I would see on the camera.
Mel be checking that camera.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like,
wow! You're even.
Hey,
See,
who's walking past my door?
I be forgetting. Mel be on
He
it.
be on it.
I get the notice. You know what I mean? So
I know you happy because I moved the wireless thing closer, so it works more better.
no, I don't.
Oh, the signal's better.
It's a little better.
It's off and on.
It's a little better.
But
I wouldn't know.
I don't. Okay, what do you think? All right, since y'all are so into the detriment of hip hop, what do you think is the positive attributes besides me mentioning the money and all that stuff? What are the positive attributes that hip hop brings to the community that you can think of?
Excitement, a sense of unity around our music. Whether it's in the 90s and 80s, where it's East versus West, it's at least a gathering of black people. We can get behind that, right? This is our music. Whether you're, I mean, and we know it's that powerful because Kamala uses it. Like just putting Lil Jon or Megan Thee Stallion or Quavo, bring just that draws our people. So you can put on.
That's not a positive thing.
For
Kamala.
No.
I mean, the unity part, yes.
Well, what I'm saying is it is a magnet, and it can be used for good. It can be used to bring us together when we can have a good time, like enjoy ourselves. If you go to a cookout and you
what
have
hip hop song would say is a good song to play that brings unity?
No, I'm not talking about unity as in like save the world. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about we can get behind our own music. We can get behind hip hop.
Okay.
Like you can go to a function and you can play hip hop music and you're gonna be okay if there's black people. Like, does that make sense? I'm not saying that it's unifying us, saying we're all together in a team. I'm just saying that the music itself brings us together.
Is that exclusive to hip hop?
You didn't ask me that, but I would say no. So I mean, music in general. You didn't ask me that, Mel.
I said hip hop. What does the positive that hip hop brings?
I mean, that's just what came to my mind.
I mean, that's fine. But that's not a thing that's exclusive to hip hop. That's music in general.
I don't know if there is something that
you could play. What's that song? No. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. That's not hip hop. And Cats, we didn't grow up with that, but we hear it.
I did.
And then we see the unison that people are in.
You can do the same thing with hip hop.
The excitement, but I'm saying, but it's not exclusive. It's not exclusive.
I didn't say it was, and I didn't. That was not your question.
I was just speaking on hip hop, not music.
Okay, well, you didn't say exclusive to hip hop that other music won't provide.
That's why I said what hip hop song would bring that unity together. Maybe what? The cha-cha slide?
That's not what Cupid Shuffle. We're talking about two different types of unity.
Wobble baby.
You're talking about two different types of unity. Like there's like the Michael Jackson "We Are the People." That's a unifying whatever. I know you're Michael. My bad.
King of Pop,
that is a unifying song saying we is bringing us together. I'm talking about the music in general. People of color and other white people, we get behind hip hop. It's fun. You turn on some hip hop and people are probably going to dance, right? Like, yes, can they do that with other things? Yes. I don't have an answer. Is there something that hip hop brings that other music does not bring that's exclusive to hip hop and that is a benefit only? I don't know.
What genre of music would you say you listen to the most?
Hip hop.
Okay.
But that is a big genre, and I don't listen to. I was gonna say I don't listen to shoot 'em up, kill 'em up, but I think sometimes my music can get that way.
For sure, especially if you're in the gym or something.
But I listen to rock. I mean, especially some of them hard songs. They just in the gym, because you mentioned that, it made me think of that. Like they be going in. You just want to listen to something to just kind of to get you going, to get
them juices going.
But I don't have an answer.
I mean, it's perfectly fine. I mean, but
especially when you say exclusive to hip hop, because that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I would just say that I would put it with all music, that music has exclusive benefits, but I don't.
Significant.
I don't know.
So I just think hip hop is a more detrimental thing. So why you listen to a lot of detrimental music then?
Why do people drink when they're happy? Why do people drink when they're sad? Why do people
to cope? You're coping.
Why do people overeat when they're depressed? It's what we're used to.
Right.
It's a habit. It's something that we've learned. And once again, there is a frequency of that music that causes us to feel a certain thing. And the industry understands this. This is why country music, people listen to country when they're sad because they can connect with it. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm not saying all country is sad, but I mean, when you hear that, my my dog got shot, and I was drinking a Bud Light, like whatever.
Banjo music,
I mean, I'm just saying, like it's a part of. I mean,
you just played country
I'm not, but I like country music.
You just played this.
Okay, let's the blues. When you listen to the blues, right, and you think about the blues, you think of your standard typical da na 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 na. My dog was alone. Dun, 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 dun,
That must be
dun.
a
My
Terminator.
wife left me at home.
That must be a
Dun, 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 dun. I was drinking on some whiskey. Dun, 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 dun. And I got tipsy.
Bad to the bone.
Dun, dun, dun. But well, bad to the bone came from
Bad.
that came from blues. But there are certain things about chords and keys that have a certain frequency that make us connect with that music in a particular way. You're not going to listen to blues particularly if you want to feel hype at the gym. Not saying that you can't, but that's not typically what you're going to listen to, right? So I don't typically, if I'm riding around and I got my windows down, it's a gorgeous day, the sunroof is open, I like my music up, you know, the
like
wind.
your beat down low,
Right.
and your top laid back.
Correct. But I'm not listening to Adele while I'm riding like that, because that's not what I'm feeling.
Chris, do you listen to hip hop music still?
I think a better question is, do you listen to music?
He listens to music, but do you listen to hip hop music still?
It's very rare. It's very rare.
Okay.
I stopped listening to it when I learned about the frequency.
Yeah.
That was years ago. A long time ago. I miss it. I like it, but I don't indulge. Cause like my thing is, it's got to be a balance in my life. Like I'm gonna do things that are negatively detracting from my health and stuff, and I kind of choose which ones I want, or and I just try to limit. Music's one of the ones I went and got rid of. But I listen to Spanish guitar and instrumentals, and more like classic music, high vibrational stuff.
I mean, I figured that was the case.
My music is ratchet, but it's not as ratchet. Like
I'm like a combination of everything.
Oh, we know you are.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely everything. I can shoot a nigga in the face one time, and I can heal somebody's soul.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I mean, but I didn't necessarily answer the question, but I'll answer it briefly. As far as hip hop, and I mean, I get you all's points, and I see your perspectives, and I mean, just reflecting off my own life and experiences that I've been in, going to the club and things of that nature. And there's plenty of times that I've been in the club where everyone was having a good time, and then out of nowhere you hear, "Fuck them other niggas, cause I'm down for my niggas." What? And then cats start jumping, they start pushing each other, they start getting crunk. Next thing you know, there's a fight breaking out. Or so just from growing up, you see violence much more, that gets inspired or influenced by the type of song that's being played. And it's funny that Lil Jon was at the DNC, because there's a lot of times in my neighborhood where Lil Jon was the reason why a lot of cats started fighting. Mm-hmm. Pushing, throwing bowls, we some head busters, what hood, what rep your hood, what city you from, and all that. Cats would start, swinging and fighting. But I mean, I do think it's beneficial.
Do you think Lil Jon wrote that song knowing how much violence would come from it?
Knowingly?
Yeah, because you can't write that song and be oblivious, right?
Yeah, I think he knows.
Wait, which song?
He grew up, just the songs that he grew up. Get crunk, because crunk was a movement.
That was a whole movement, right?
But it was significant in Atlanta, or at least not necessarily Atlanta, but in the South. And getting crunk is like the mirror of mosh pitting.
Okay.
And the difference between mosh pitting and getting crunk is that when people are mosh pitting, or let's get in a mosh pit, they're not like, granted they push you and it's things of that nature, but if you fall or if there's someone that's getting hurt, they'll stop the mosh pit and they'll help people up. So it's more helpful than anything. And there's times where we get crunk, it's the same thing. You start pushing people and they start throwing up their hood or whatever, but it leads to fights breaking out. Mm-hmm. It's like,
we saw that. I mean, plenty. So
there's a different environment and a different energy that crunk music brings versus a mosh pit. And I noticed that when I was going to EDM concerts, and I would get into mosh pits because my natural reaction is like, okay, somebody is about to go down.
We about to swing. It's
about to go down. So I'm ready. Like, it was good. But everyone's like, oh, let's stop. Let's help him up. And girls get involved into it and all that stuff. So it's like a different energy, but I think Lil Jon would. I don't think he would. I would say he was probably riding the wave of the movement of the energy because it was like the popular thing to do. You know, because you have Pastor Troy, who was like, you know, crime mob, and all that. But Lil Jon was like the one who kind of started it in a sense. You know, I would say he added on to it because you don't have 3 6 Mafia.
The Yin Yang Twins.
Well, Lil Jon was before the Yin Yang Twins. You know,
Lil Scrappy.
Lil Scrappy was after Lil Jon because he was like, they called him the Prince of Crunk. But you know, you had the Pastor Troy, you had Yin Yang Twins, you know, Lil Jon, and then you have the 3 6 Mafia, and then you also have 8 Ball and MJG, who had, you know, the energy behind that was Crunk and, you know, Project Pat and all them. So
it was a movement, as you said, or Chris said.
Yeah, it was definitely a movement, but I would think that Lil Jon, he excelled it, you know, especially with his beat making, and maybe he knew, because like even though he comes from the South and he makes ignorant music, and just because you make that ignorant music doesn't mean that you're an ignorant person.
He's far from ignorant.
If you see him today, you'll know.
Not just that, even when you saw him in the past, you saw him talk. He was very intelligent. He's almost like the modern Metro. Like if you like if you listen to Metro talk, he's very intelligent. Like he's very well spoken. He's not.
Metro will be the modern Lil Jon.
Sorry, what did I say? Yeah. That's what I meant. Okay, he's like these people they're not dumb. Right. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
So would I say that he did it with the intention that people were gonna start fighting? Probably not. But he knew that there was something behind the music
that made people
like it made them hype
to it. Yeah,
right. But when he made "Window to the Wall," oh my God,
that took off.